puppy. Look at you guys. Oh, how cute. That's our little Ruby. She's our new addition. You've seen here and there. She just loves her big brother. Well, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. Today's Saturday, a couple of days after Thanksgiving of 2023. Hope you all had a blessed one. We're back outside. Started off at about 34 degrees this morning. I've got my overalls and stuff on. But now I'm starting to get a little warm. What we're trying to do here is, well, Matthew got all the blocking taken care of. This is the blocking for the water heater. I had him double block it because I don't know if I'm going to go up or down. You know, just give me a little extra, just in case stuff. And same thing over here with the filtration system. And right now what we're working on is trying to figure out my roof line. My roof is going to, basically I'm putting a 2x8 in this area here so it can come down this way for the roof pitch. I'm still having an issue at this end over here because I don't have the ridge line like you would right here. You know, when you have this kind of ridge line, then you can just put your roof joists on at that angle that you need it to until you get to the straight parts. And since I only have this cutout area, because I'm trying to use this whole area, this is where the vent was, so it was already cut out and we just went straight on both ends. You can see where some of the screw holes were right there. So my problem is trying to develop a roof that's not going to kind of twist down, and got to give me a 10-inch eave from, well, 10 and 5/8 because we got to put our 5/8 on the side, but 10 and 5/8 from bare stud. We got to come out and have an eave, so I got to keep this flat all the way through so I can pretty much match that. Now it doesn't have to be the same size, but it has to be close enough, you know, at least an inch or two smaller than what we have up there, because I got to be able to get my bricks on this wall and put my brick stop against up in that area. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make this pitch right here because of the way it comes down, because I can only go straight here and then basically go off each one. So as I'm coming down lower and lower, my pitch is going to flatten out more. Unless I cut some 2x10s or 2x12s or whatever I got to do to get to that. I don't know. I don't know yet. That's kind of where I'm having a brain issues trying to get that one figured out to make it look right. Alrighty, well, didn't get a whole lot done today, but we did get all the ply and all the OSB up. We got those guys in place. What we're doing is just pocket screwing it for right now. I have to dig out my nail guns that will receive my number 10s. The one I brought out, my nails won't slide down inside the rail. Excuse me. So what we're going to do here is I just pocket screwed it. And then I'm going to go buy some of that big stretch. I was watching these other gentlemen use it, and it works better for this application than it would for my countertop. So I need to go pick up some of that. And I got to go see what type of angle flashing I have in stock here, and I'm going to go buy that. And then we're going to try to figure out, basically, I'll just go from this corner, from the edge of that pocket, or the box that we built, go from there, come out here, and then I'll just hit it from the side. And it turns out, as long as I keep my eave the same height, when it's going to get boxed in, no one's going to know. I can make it out of cardboard, no one would know. But you guys, anyways. So that's it for today. You know, it's been a long week. Over at my family's on Tuesday, or no, my buddy showed up on Tuesday, took him out and his family. Wednesday, we spent most of the day with them. Thursday, Thanksgiving. Today, working. Going back to see my parents on Sunday before they go back to California. And then I have now until the snow comes, which is in a few hours, I think. I don't know. It might snow. It's supposed to snow north of us and in Kansas. So we'll see if we get any. We'll get back out here on Monday. if it's not too bad with rain or anything. And we'll get that part going here, just see where we go. And hopefully we can start getting it dried in. There's our little Ruby, Little Ruby, just let me in, I want to play, let me in. I know, huh? Later on, you'll probably see her after Harley calms down. She'll probably be laying on top of him, because they're buds. They are buds. All right, well, I've got more 2x6s out here. Got everything lined up, possibly what we're gonna need. My flashing there for the edge. And I'm gonna probably try to use it to roll it up. I'm gonna see how much room I got. I got the metal flash in the back of the truck, but it's so thin, I don't want it to bend over here until we're ready to use it. So, we got everything pocket screwed right now, just so we can set things in place, because I used the existing air conditioning pad here, and it was out of square, and since I'm just using it for a closet, I'll deal with it being out of whack like the rest of this house is. And so because of that, each one of these joists is, we can use one as a pattern. We took the longest one and then we just kept reducing as we needed to and marking it off, so we can get, our seat and everything in there. And we're playing exactly what they did here. So if you look up inside, you'll see how thin the joists are there. Those are about almost 3 inches. So we kind of mimicked them. And then I'm leaving a gap on top up here, so that way I can put my tie back on, and then run a flashing up and over and seal that part, so that way it's behind. Alrighty, we're back. Just got done getting as much as we could as far as our roofing pitches and stuff. We just took down this board here. That way Matthew went ahead and cut the groove in, so when I get ready to do my roof flashings, I can bend each one of them in there. Same thing over here. So I'm getting ready to get these guys screwed up there and set in place. So that'll be done using the big stretch. Hold on a second. There we go. The big stretch. What color is this? Oh, redwood. So you get that put up there, and then once we get well, that stuff gets all over the place, don't it? So once we get those two end roof joists up there and get them screwed in place, we'll go back through and start putting all the brackets on. And I got down here, I've got my pinner right here. I'll use that. This guy right here, used to be Hitachi. This is one that actually says Hitachi on it. This one here, I'm hoping will receive my number 10s, these guys, so I can finish nailing off these panels. Panels are only up there right now with a 1 1/4 inch drywall screw just to tack it in place, because this guy was buried in the back of the shop. So, all right, well, you saw how much we put on the backs of these boards, and then went ahead and caulked all this stuff up there, so give it an added protection. Ran out before we could finish that side. So when I get ready to do my plywood, I'll get that area a little better up top, because I'll hit that roof joist and then put the plywood there, and I'll hit the side of that roof joist, so I can squeeze the plywood up against it and then caulk the top of it as well. So we have probably like four or five different ways of protecting any water getting in this way. See, I have the roof flashing on it, plus then when I go to put my tie back on top, which again I like to use a torch tub, I can't find it. When I put the tie back on top, I'll dab every hole that we put a staple in, or tape it, but I will also caulk the top of the tie back, as well as caulking right before we put the OSB on. I'll caulk that and I'll slide up against it, and then once we get it nailed down, then I'll caulk that seam as well up against the wall, and I'll do it at both ends. And then you'll have the caulking on top of the 2x6, as well as the caulking up against the block wall and the 2x6 sandwich in between. So, you know, a lot of insurance right there, you know, because I don't want any water coming in and dripping down. So you look at smashing between plus caulking up top, then the plywood will be caulked, as well as, and plus I'll be doing the roofing too. So as I do the roofing and the metal strip, the strip will bend and go inside. So you end up caulking in there, you cut it, you bend it over about 1/4 of an inch, shove it inside there, and then you caulk over that as well. So you have caulking in there before you put the metal in, and then you have caulking after you put the metal in. After you get it all done, then you just run a nice bead down. And since we already went through one tube, like I said, I'll wait before I pop open the other one, because we wanted to put on really generously, you know. So now we're ready to get our 2x fascia up, and then get our plywood up, our OSB, and then hurry up and get the tie back on. So I gotta move. See. Good morning, everybody. Well, we're back at it. Today's Friday, December 1st, 2023. And we realized as we're walking around this area, around the side, yesterday we couldn't work because Matt had to take it off, plus it rained all day too. Everything's just drenched out here. The pond's filling up pretty good over there. Let's see if you guys. Anyways, we kind of messed up. I did. It's hard to see it. Today we got the ladder out, the extension ladder this way. There's my wife. There she is, all nice and cozy. Huh?
Today we got the ladder out.
Yeah. Doing it right. We found out that we were 3 inches off, and it was pitching down this way. I'm going, that's why I was having a hard time with the plywood. I was trying to work from the inside, and you know, we got the fence in the way. We have the drain pipe ditch, the water line ditch, the fiber optic ditch, so we know where it's at, so we don't cut it. There's that little tiny black line right there. And they only put the seal tight on the outside of it and just stuck it in just about 1 foot in the ground. Everything else is just buried just like that, with a little bit thicker than that one there, with the cable, so they can identify it with the what was it, metal detector. But anyway, so now we're fixing the mistake, trying to scrape off all that big stretch caulking we put on there. We'll have to redo the groove for the flashing, and went ahead and put this tacked our board here onto this guy. This is going to have to get replaced as well. But after I get this guy done here, figured out, that was my hardest part because it's so small. You know, it's a hard pitch. And walking around the fence back and forth does take up time. But anyways, we'll get it figured out. I was wondering why my plywood was 3 inches high on this one. I'm going, what the heck? And this morning he goes, hey, this thing's like cattywampus. So to get that fixed, then we'll go ahead and get all the OSB up there, nailed down. And I bought a roll of my torch down. It's a cap sheet, so it's not an underlayment, but we're going to use it as an underlayment. And but at least I get it torched down, and we'll show you guys all that too. Alrighty, we're back. Well, right, we fixed Harley. Boy, there is like something out there that's just irritating him. He's going out. Look at all the chickens over there lined up in a row. I don't know what's going on. He sees something or hears something. But here's what's going on. All right, this part of the roof, because of the minimal access that I have, it's almost like a Chinese roof. It just kind of pitches and rolls down. And basically, let me show you. That's what it does right there. It kind of rolls down, so we got it screwed down. I had to use cardboard to get my pitch and everything. This is one of the joists. I mean, that's how big it was. So I had to, to be able to figure out my pitch on that one as well as that one there, which is the smaller cardboard piece is that center one right here. And the bigger one is the one up against the wall there. Take you inside. That's the one right there. That's the bigger one, and that's the smaller one. And then what we had to do is, because the way this thing rolls down, I had to cut that section of the roofing into pieces. That way I can get it screwed down and roll it down. And once I get my top cap, which is my actual underlayment, my torch down roofing, once I get that up there and roll it over one way, roll it over the other way, and then of course, as you can see, we're caulking everything. I still got to put a little bit more right there. My tube ran out. We won't get to that today. I'm trying to get my tie back on the outside real quick because I still have to put some little strips along here after the tie back's on, so I have something to nail that bottom that bottom piece on there. Well, we got to put the fascia on too, but we also have to put the eave box in the eave, and I'm still gotta get that cut. Right now, that roof area took so long to try to figure out because I don't do this stuff all the time. Easier stuff, yeah, all the time. Like smaller things, but this was definitely a challenge trying to get that to roll down. Yes. Anyways, so we got that going on. We're gonna go get all the OSB out of here, trash and stuff, and come back and start putting on my wrap. All righty, well, went ahead and busted open another tube of caulking. Got that up there. I like caulking the sides here, and then when we get the tie back on there, I'll caulk over that as well. Just added protection. Do the same thing over here. Right now, I still got to put my nailing on. I forgot about that. We just tacked everything up there. So, right for the moment, I'll put you guys right here. Well, hopefully someplace stable. Well, hopefully it doesn't fall over. I don't have a good luck with this pancake compressor with the nail gun. I have a bigger one. Inside I just pulled it out. But, well, give Matthew something to do. I use my number 10s on the Hitachi. My original wouldn't accept the number 10s. It would get jammed as it got close to where it would fire through. So should have wanted the bigger compressor. And not that I had to sit there and nail them all down. But hey, it's done now, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the compressor again and start working with the T50, which is a staple gun. I was talking about this earlier in another video. The PT50, Arrow PT50. And this thing works fast. It works great. Much better than using, excuse me guys, using the hammer. And you don't have to sit there and try to squeeze and hit it, you know. Some of them you have to squeeze, the other ones you have to push forward. Those are nicer, you know, kind of just push forward. This is a better way to go. Well, get it going. Use this. Well, a little issue with the gun only because I thought maybe it jammed or something. I needed oil in it. Nope, got to turn on the compressor. Well, that's how fast it works. Goes on pretty easy. We'll come back tomorrow and tape off what we need to, cut off what we need to, put our other sealants on there. We'll cut back on the paper here, staple it back down some more, and then I'm going to caulk that area as well at the brick. Anywhere that we have a blunt area, how do I put it, you know, it's not structurally brought in there, you know, or the brick's wrapping around and everything's done up nice and neat. This is an add-on, so I like caulking it, adding whatever material next, then caulk it, add material, caulk it, add material, especially on the roof. I don't want to have any leaks, any issues. Because once you get the ceiling and all that stuff in, you're not going to really know for a while, especially if it's a slow leak. So tomorrow, like I said, we'll cut everything back, get everything taped up, and man, my nose. Excuse me, guys. It's cold out here. It's like 35 degrees, even though it says 42. The wind, the moisture, everything. So that's it for today. We're going to clean up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, folks. Well, we're back. It's the next day. Lumping this all into one day here, Friday and Saturday. Went ahead and got all the tacthe cleaned up, and then of course I sealed the outside. I like doing that. And the brick will be out here, and it'll be up against the wall. We'll have plenty of precautions for water not to get in. And like I said before, if you guys are just now seeing this, we caulked this whole joist here, both of them at the brick. That one too. So that gets caulked, and then once we get it in place, then we caulk the top. And then right before we put the sheet on, we add some more caulking, and then we slam the sheet up against the brick, nail it down, and then we put more caulking on top of the sheet. So we got 4 layers of caulking up there. And then when I get ready to as you can see right there. And then when I get ready to put my torch down, which is a cap sheet I'm using as the underlayment, I'll caulk that edge as well. Even though it's torched down, I'm just probably have about, by the time I get done, you got cap sheet that'll be caulked on the edge, and then the flashing, then the roofing, and those will get caulked on the edge as I do that, as well as the flashing. So we're probably looking at 6-7 times I'm going to be caulking up against that ceiling, up against the brick area on both locations. So what we did today is finally get this stuff out of the shop. We went ahead and cut some strips, make sure that we're level so we can soften it in like that right there. And these strips are only for us to put the board flat here. This, I couldn't find that type of fascia that was 3/4 of an inch. I can only find this one here, but what I did find was 4-inch wide strips that we trimmed down. And since we're going a little bit shorter here, and I don't have a whole lot of room, we're making everything a little bit smaller than that. So the gutter's going to be smaller, the fascia's smaller, and then the brick stop is going to be a little smaller, only by 1/2 inch. But I have no room hardly at all. This is for my plaster or plaster stop. Basically it's a plaster molding for stucco, on the stucco stop, I should say. And what happens, you put the stucco stop on there and it sticks out so far, but then the bricks come out, past that to where the 2 inches of the bricks are barely behind it. I'll probably bring them in a little bit more on this one here, but I think there's usually like 1.5 inch gap in between, but because of the way this is all set up, I'm kind of like a micro setup. But anyways, I still have to, the door opens in, so we're good. I don't have to worry about the swing coming out. I'm playing off of an existing area, like the concrete pad here, which was my condenser pads, for those who don't know. I'm just reutilizing what I have, because you can see that's where one of my units was there, and one unit was there, and condensate drain coming out there, which is no longer connected, because all my stuff's now in that new furnace closet I built, which is similar to this one here. So I just wanted to show you what we got going on. So now after we put this on, the fascia, I went ahead and, of course, I use the big stretch up behind it, and then I brought out my staple gun, used 1.5 quarter inch crowns to get it on there. And here we used my pin nailer, so we used 2-inch, oh my gosh, brain fart because I don't, going off the cuff. Well, we use my pin nailer, and then we also use these finishing screws, and just put a few of those in there to hold it. And not that I'm trying to hide the stuff, it's just, it's easier to put it up that way. Brad nailer, that's what I was thinking, these guys right here. So anyways, I got that going on. We're getting ready now to put the bottom piece on, which is these guys right here. We just got to cut them to size, and we'll get those up as well, and then the stucco stop, and then tomorrow I'll come out here and paint sometime later in the day. Hopefully it's warmer, I mean, it was supposed to be sunny today. It's just like it was yesterday, just cloudy and nasty and cold. All right, well, we're starting to get rained on, so we're packing it up. Not like my tools getting wet. I got that on there, nice and tight. Look at that, can't even tell. Beautiful. I'll come back and I'll caulk all that underneath there. Don't need to worry about caulking any of this here, but I will do it up against the brick as well. And unfortunately, I have to take some time and clean up that mess over there. I miscalculated my pitch on that rafter, but well, get it all caulked out through here, and I'll put some tape on the wall and stuff like that, so I stay away from it. But probably won't see it anyways once I put the gutter on it. So we are now packing up and heading out. We're planning on a half day anyways, because my wife wants to go do some shopping and everything. So I'm gonna do that. She's right now taking the dogs to go get their pedicure, manicure, or whatever, paw cure. So anyways, you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. God bless y'all. Bye.